Welcome to the January 26th meeting, select board meeting. We're going to call this meeting to order at 5:34, looks like. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. And do we have anything to add or delete to the agenda?
I do not.
Nope, I don't.
Nothing, sir. Okay. Now, administrative matters. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I move to approve the orders for 1/26/26 in the amount of $49,290.91 and payroll for 1/20/26 with a gross of $15,080.43 and a net of $10,955.37.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And I'd like to make a motion I'm going to move to approve the minutes for January 12th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not there to read those minutes, so I'm going to recuse myself from that vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, announcements. So the town meeting will be March 2nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the VTRANS building at 61 Valley View Drive in Mendon. And the polls will be open March 3rd, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the town office.
Yes. Seth, I do have one other announcement that well, it's either an announcement or a public comment. There was an article in the in state news that discussed a salt shortage across the state of Vermont. And that was alarming to some people based on the current weather patterns that we're in. I just wanted to assure the town of Mendon that a few years ago, they authorized the expansion of the salt shed in Mendon. So we are able to store, on average, an entire season of winter salt. So Mendon does not have a salt shortage. Some municipalities might be experiencing that. The state of Vermont has a significant supply of salt on hand at any given time, and they do get replenished throughout the year. So I just wanted the town of Mendon voters to know that they have invested a significant amount of money in our storage capacity, and it's because of these types of situations with salt shortages that we have done that.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to know.
I definitely appreciate that because I was wondering, I was asking if anyone knew any information about that last week. So that's awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
You can see it's already come into effect with the state roads.
Yeah, I would say driving here.
It's bumpy.
It's
going to be like that all winter.
Yep.
Prepare yourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, do we have any other announcements? Megan, you got anything? Or?
Nope.
Okay. We will move on to public comment then. Anybody have public comment?
Nope.
Is anybody there?
No one here.
No one here, so moving on to business. Certificate of highway mileage. What do we have there?
So this is an annual adoption of the certificate of highway mileages, and you will notice that on the certificate we have checked the box that we have no changes from last year. So this does indicate to the state of Vermont how many class 1, 2, 3, and 4 roads that we have in Mendon.
Okay. So when it says like that's thousand, is that that? Wait. Like when it says class 4 or class 2, it says 4.440.
Yep.
And then like class 3 is 16.82. Does that mean that we literally have 4.44 miles of class 2?
I would assume.
Yes, that's correct.
Miles? Okay.
Do you need
And
a
then
motion, Sarah? Do we need a motion for that, to adopt
Yeah,
that?
we need a motion to approve the 2026 certificate of highway mileage.
So moved.
Okay, I'll second that. Right,
Yes. Yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's confusing over there. I get on the other side. All right, so.
So you sign that there.
All right. Okay, the CAI tax map maintenance contract.
So this is with cartographics. These are the people that update our tax maps every year. This is just their maintenance contract. It hasn't changed from last year, and so that is good to approve.
Okay. And the total amount, it looks like is 1,100? I think it's 1,100. Maintenance service is 1,100. Okay.
So we'll move to approve the CAI tax map maintenance contract.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the Rutland Regional Planning Commission Contract Amendment 1.
So right before that, Seth, we do have the HS 122
Yep, okay.
penalty filing.
Yeah.
So you reviewed this at the last meeting, but I noticed we did not make a motion to approve. So
Okay.
I would like to make that motion to approve and re-sign that policy.
All right, so I will move that we approve the late homestead penalty. Is this just a policy? Or is this to go on? Oh, okay. Or is it, because it looks like it's, the way that it's framed, it looks like it says, shall the select board of the town of Mendon penalize late homestead filers per, cites the statute? So is this a policy, or it kind of looks like it's supposed to be on the ballot?
It doesn't need to be on the ballot. It's an approval by the select board.
Okay.
On whether they're going to charge the penalty or not. So the HS 122, just for the minutes, is where property owners declare whether their property is homestead or non-residential. And they have to do that annually. As the state folded these regulations out, they kind of changed the rules every single year. And the select board at the time elected that it was difficult to keep up with what the regulation was, so that they weren't going to charge a late penalty. For the last number of years, it has been that you have to file this form annually before April, for your property as of April 1st annually, and it's due to the tax department by the 15th, along with regular taxes. So, most towns, we could have charged the late penalty at the time. But because we have a process that has been in place for a number of years, our treasurer is recommending that the town implement this program now.
So I'll move that we penalize late homestead filers pursuant to the statute cited, effective in the fiscal year 2027.
Okay. Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, the Rutland Regional Planning Commission Contract Amendment 1. And it's lump sum payment versus time and materials for inventory project.
Yeah, so this is a Better Roads grant that we've been working on for a little over a year and a half, and Regional Planning Commission submitted the original contract to include a rate per hour plus materials, and they are to the point of exhausting that, so they wanted to change that to a lump sum payment, which is the amount of the grant.
Which is $5,616.
Correct.
Okay. And this was for the road erosion inventory. So is that almost done, or?
Yeah, they're nearing completion on that.
Okay. Okay. I'll move to approve the amendment to the Rutland Regional Planning Commission contract so that it reflects a lump sum payment instead of time and materials for inventory for the relevant project.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
I
The next thing we have is local option tax, sales, rooms, meals, and alcoholic beverages. And the recommendation for adoption and inclusion of the town of Mendon warning.
So we did approve that at the last meeting, and so Jesse is preparing the mailing to go out to the voters along with our warning and the budget information, and is requesting if the select board wants to include any additional information. And it is my recommendation that you do include some of the information paraphrased from the State of Vermont Department of Taxes website that explains the different local option taxes, and that we would include that in that mailing. I will also include that information in the town report.
And that we're going to be reinvesting 50% of it towards the tax reduction and 50% of it towards economic development.
Okay.
So that we get support for this.
Perfect. So
do we have an action item on that, or
Yeah.
just?
I just want to make sure that the select board authorizes me to do that, and then if you had any feedback, I just wanted to hear it this evening.
Yeah, so Jesse asked for additions to the letter, so if you'll just send those additions to Jesse and copy me, and I'll
Yeah,
just,
you'll receive a copy of that mailing before it goes out, so that you can comment
Yeah.
on it.
and I just want to reiterate that we need to be concise with that, because people don't want to read a lot. So as concise as you can make that would be great.
perfect. Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Sarah. You're all set. So we don't need to do anything on that one now.
Alright, so then the next one is,
Amendments is,
oh, okay.
regular.
So, you probably haven't seen it in your email, but, I forwarded, and we have, in your inbox, the non-substantive changes, the edits to the zoning regs that I'm gonna propose that we change, and I'll tell you what the very small edits are. They're largely typos and, fixing small changes that were errors. So they didn't change the substance, but we did receive some feedback, some public testimony on Thursday, and we received, the most substantive was a public comment from Mr. Kalish. He had 3 items, which we discussed at our last meeting. It's my recommendation, after conferring with the zoning administrator, that the 3rd item that he noted which was the conditional use thresholds. That the confusion that Mr. Kalish cites is the result of a typo. And so Greg pointed out a small change that could be made in section 303, not that you can remember all of the sections, but in section 303, we make reference to, I can find it here. In 303, we make reference to, in 303D, any structures that are listed in section 304 with a footprint larger than 10,000. And Greg suggested that that was a typo, and that in 303, we should change that reference to referencing itself, 303 C. Any structure with a footprint larger than 10,000. I looked at that and that makes sense because basically what it's saying is that for conditional use review in the village, if you have a footprint of a structure more than 10,000, it should go before the ZBA. But in the commercial district, if you have a footprint more than 20,000, it should go before the ZBA. And that distinction kind of makes sense. So he suggests, and I agree, that that was just a typo. So the only change, that was one typo that I propose that we change in this version that we will adopt as the final. The other changes are in section 310. 310 is the Ridgeline Overlay District, and the Planning Commission had taken out reference to the 25% slope area, but not all the references were completely removed as intended in that section. So in 310, I made a change in the purpose, where I say that the following reasons for specifying the, instead of 3 areas, it's just 2 areas. I just changed the 3 to 2. And we make reference to the Ridgeline District and the 300-foot elevation district. And those really should be called areas because the overlay district is the Ridgeline Overlay District and it's comprised of those 2 areas. So it's just there's no substantive change. It only aligns to the changes that were made in that section previously. We also noted at the last hearing that the map on the final page, you can even see there was a note that that map would need to be changed and updated because we no longer have the 25% slope area. So I did reach out to the Rutland Regional Planning Commission and asked them to update the map. We went back and forth on a map this afternoon that is sitting here in front of us, but was incorrect and didn't quite match our original map. But I saw as I opened my computer when I got here that it appears they sent a good updated map that is the same. And so my recommendation is that with those typographical changes and the new updated map, that we don't make any other substantive changes to the regulations. That we would accept, that we would approve the zoning regs as edited on today's date, 1/26/26.
So, you want me to do that? I'm gonna second that.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And so what I'll do then is, since you've accepted it, I'll do a clean version of this. And when I get home tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll take the Rutland Regional Planning Commission's updated map and I'll attach it to the end. I'll recirculate it and I'll ask Jesse to update it. So that will be the complete final regs that will be, probably voted because we're going to approve that shortly at town meeting. And so that should do it. then our part of this is done.
Well, we will miss the zoning conversation.
Well, maybe you will, but I won't.
What are you gonna do with all your time, Sarah?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Sit back and eat bonbons.
Well, thank you for all that work.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of people's work, so thank you.
Well, thanks to everybody.
Yes.
who was on that. Okay, so moving on, town meeting warning, review and approval.
All right. So Sarah gave us two versions. There is one set of language around the zoning regs. I need to change the date on Sarah, but do you want to just walk Seth? We have them right here. Do you want to walk them through what the two differences are?
Yeah, so the warning includes, one warning includes 9 articles and the other includes 10 articles. So at the last meeting, the select board had not made a decision whether or not they were going to propose an article that would vote the budget by Australian ballot. So I wanted you guys to make that decision tonight. If that is an article you wanted to include, I was going to include it right after the budget vote article because it wouldn't go into effect for a year, as Article 2. So the only difference in the two warnings is the inclusion of that article, and it pushed the rest of the articles down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but in doing so, it also had to change that the last 2 articles are voted by Australian ballot. So it does change the opening paragraph to reflect which articles are voted by Australian ballot. And then Sarah had provided me with some information from BLCT about what information the warning must include. And so I just wanted to point out that the location of when the polls are open and the times is included in the first paragraph. And then the second recommendation was that voter registration information accompany the warning when we post it. So I will have Jesse do a blurb about how to register to vote and early voting availability, and we'll make sure that that's posted with the warning.
Okay. I just have one change to the language, and I can verbally tell you what that is for the zoning regs. So Carl didn't have, when he sent you from VLCT, when he sent that back to you, he didn't have all the dates correct. So I would say, shall the town approve? Wait, I would say, so here's the language I would have. Shall the voters of the town of Mendon adopt the amended zoning regulations as approved by the town select board tonight? So I would say January 26th, because that was our final approval. We didn't actually take action at the public hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And the town planning commission on November 20th, 2025. So it would say, shall the voters of the town of Mendon adopt the amended zoning regs as approved by the town select board on January 26, 2026, and town planning commission on November 20, 2025.
Okay.
So that's what I would propose changing that to, just because it's more accurate for what happened before. And if you guys are, Sarah, are you okay with that? Is that?
Yes.
Okay?
Anything, but I just want to keep the same format. Shall the town
Yes.
vote instead of the town of Mendon vote, because the up above in the warning it says the legal voters of the town of Mendon are warned.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah. So just after that point. So that I would make that change, and then my view is that we keep the shall the town vote to adopt all budget articles by Australian ballot, but I also don't feel very strongly about it. So if Megan or Seth, if either of you have a reason not to do that, I don't feel strongly.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So that would mean that when we move, we would approve the version with the 10 articles
Right.
with the amended
And your,
language.
and with the amended language.
Yeah.
So I would think that your motion to approve will include the amendment of
Yes,
Article, so that is Article 9 on that warning.
Okay. So,
I don't have that in front of me. How many requests did we get with petition requests did we get?
We received 2. So the appropriation request is $700 for the retired senior volunteer program and $2,600 for the Visiting Nurses Association
Okay.
and hospice.
Okay.
all right.
Do you, because you don't have the warning in front of you, Megan, do you just want me to run down the 10 articles?
Did you send it? Is it in one of those attachments in some of the emails today?
It is.
Okay, let me just open it up real quick. It was in the email from you today, right?
Correct.
Sent it to Mendon.
I sent it to your Megan
Yeah,
email.
sorry.
Yep, that's okay. So just while she's pulling that out, Article 1, which is shall the town approve the budget, the 2026-27 municipal budget, that $1,440,733 is the budget that you approved at the meeting without including the appropriations in that number. Because the appropriations, as the voters approve it in Article 7 and 8, that will then be added to the budget after the fact. So that number, just so that if you compare it to your notes of previous meetings, is the budget that we approved for expenses minus the appropriations, because you're voting that separately.
So when in the budget overview that goes out in the town report, is it showing any increase?
No.
Okay, because that wiped out. The fact that we didn't get the one from Wonder Feet took us down to our budget.
Yeah, we approved, I believe it was 5 appropriations last year. And so now we're down to 2.
Okay.
So our budget is less this year, even with the appropriations, than last year?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And that will be discussed in the highlights and objectives report that I'll give you an overview of later on in the meeting about the highlights and objectives. But that will be discussed in that report, a financial recap.
Okay, I'm good with the articles.
Okay. All right, then I'll move that we approve the warning as presented here with the 10 articles as amended. Do I need to read the amendment again, Sarah, or?
No, I'm going to take it right from the minutes.
Okay, as amended for the language around the adoption of the zoning regulations.
And actually, on the warning that you have in front of you with the 10 articles, if you could just write out that, cross it out, and write out the wording that you just discussed, and then you and Seth can sign the second page,
Oh, perfect.
because that will be an accurate accounting of the warning.
Okay.
And then we'll just post it from there.
Okay.
I mean, I'll type it up so it looks nice, but that'll be your official copy.
so we can continue with it now.
Yeah.
You moved,
So I moved.
I'm gonna second that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All in favor?
I
Okay, highlights and objectives, town report review.
All right. So, this report isn't finalized, but essentially we'll be updating the town on what the results of the budget was with the significant increases and where we have saved money through a diligent budgeting process. It'll discuss the infrastructure improvements, which included the reconstruction of Journey's End this past summer. We had thought that we were going to be able to do the dry hydrants this past summer, but that has been postponed to this upcoming summer, with seeking financial support from the Rural Fire Protection Task Force. The town ordered and received the F600 truck, the chassis of the truck, and that we're awaiting the installation of the dump body in order to put that in operation. Just a small update on the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds. Those funds were obligated as of December 2024, and they must be spent by the end of 2026. So I just wanted to provide an update on where we stand with expending those funds. There's a paragraph on the public safety improvements. There were two projects there. One, the planning of the replacement of the dry hydrants, and then also just a recap of the fact that the select board requested from VTRANS that we reduce the speed limit on Route 4, and that was successfully done to 40 miles per hour. Then I'll do a little recap of the municipal planning grant, and that we have the zoning regulations on the ballot for adoption. That most information that we post to residents are going to be posted on the town website, Facebook page, Front Porch Forum, and then some PR on our new endeavor, which is the Text My Gov information system, and how people can sign up for that. That we continue to participate in the Otter Creek Communication Union District. This isn't something that the select board talks about a whole lot, but there is a lot going on behind the scenes, with Larry Crisell being our representative on that committee, that they are expanding broadband access to the internet throughout Mendon and Rutland County. And then there'll be a recap of the elected and appointed officials in Mendon who has stepped down from office, and those that have been appointed, and what the personnel changes have been. And that's it. That's the conclusion.
Okay. I was thinking that we wanted to announce at some point the event at the rec center, but that's going to happen before town meeting. So they're going to do their own PR for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will ask Jesse if they're putting any type of little blurb in our warning about that, because they will receive that mailing before town meeting.
Okay. And I thought we had talked about using the Text My Gov for this snowstorm, telling people to stay off the road, but all I saw was a Facebook post.
So I will follow up with Jesse and Chris on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Facebook post. I thought it was a good post, but I agree with you, Megan. That would have been a good use of Text My Gov.
Yeah. I think, that's from the conversation I had with residents about, why they shouldn't be out on the road. There were times they shouldn't get out on the roads, and today is, when they don't have to. And I think Facebook's great, but not everybody's on Facebook.
Well, right. And this was one of the reasons why we implemented Text My Gov. So
yeah.
Yep.
Thought of something else. Slipped my mind. Oh well.
That's okay. I'll send you the draft of this highlights and objectives report, and then if there's any feedback on including additional information, you guys can just let me know what you'd like to include. And then the warning mailing that goes out to all the voters. You'll receive a copy of that as well to provide feedback to Jesse before that's sent out.
Okay. All right. I closed the agenda because I opened up something for the executive meeting. Is there anything else on the agenda? I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay. So we have a couple more items.
Town meeting presentations review.
Yeah, the town meeting presentation review, I just wanted to add that on there in case there was any feedback. But essentially, Megan's going to do the financial piece that we're going through, and then Sarah will answer any questions about zoning.
And Seth's going to do the talk about the roads, the road crew part.
Right.
So, and and then you'll be up on the screen again this year at the meeting.
To answer any questions if
Yeah.
need be.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Thank you, my brain. It came back to life, my little brain. Greg Smith, representing this is about the school board, wanted to know if we wanted them to come to the next select board meeting since the budget's been set and we know the amount that our taxes are going to go up, and if we think they should come back to the select board meeting in case people have questions. I don't think it would hurt. He'll be remote. He'll be out of town, but he can be on remote. And, I don't know if you saw the article in the paper last Thursday that our school budget was put in the paper. Did anybody see that?
I did.
I did not.
Yeah. So it's going to be a 12 to 14% increase. And so Greg, on record, voted against it, the budget, and gave his reasons why he voted against it. So anyway, we just have to decide if we want him on the agenda next time. And we don't have to make that decision now, but
I think the most opportunities that they have to get the word out about their budget and what the increases are is beneficial to our voters.
I think so too. And I think the select board meeting's the best place because people aren't going to come to a separate hearing on it, but maybe if it's on the agenda, maybe some people will come and ask some questions.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and see if we can get both of them. If not, he'll come on remotely.
Okay.
Can I follow up with that?
Okay, that came in my little mind.
Good job. It came back to you, see?
Sometimes I just amaze myself. Sorry.
Okay, so that leads us to our last item, and it is for executive session.
So I don't know if we should have an executive session. Well, maybe we should still go into it with Megan. We just don't have any attendees.
So our other party is not in attendance. Correct.
Would you like to postpone this item, or would you still like to go in and just talk about it? I'm fine.
I guess there's, I have questions, I guess, from Sarah Tolley about, what we would do moving forward. Sarah, can you be in an executive session? Sarah Tolley, can you join us in an executive session?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we go into executive session, including Sarah Tolley?
Okay. Do you want me to make the motion?
Yeah.
Okay. So I move that this body move to executive session pursuant to 1 VSA 313A3 to discuss the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the only one that is still online is Terry Christones, which if she would like to just.
Yeah, no, can I just ask, and I apologize, I came on at 6. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Hear you.
I came on at 6 thinking that's when the zoning amendment discussion would be, or sometime after that, but did I miss it? Has it already taken place?
We passed it.
Oh,
We passed
okay.
it.
Okay, and what about the question that you had, Sarah, that you asked me to attend, the comments that came in and whether or not that would affect the schedule?
Yes, so we didn't decide to take any of those comments, but while you're here, I guess that never came up. We decided not to accept those, and that would mean that if Mr. Kalish's comments would be something that the Planning Commission wanted to look at, we could just go through the Planning Commission, the more abbreviated amendment process.
Okay, well then I will just leave the meeting period, because I didn't, and I apologize, I thought on the agenda it was to come after 6 o'clock. That's why I came on at 6. You must
No,
have
that's the
taken it.
executive session. It was after 6.
Oh, okay, then I misread the agenda.
No, you know, she's right. It says business, but we got ahead of schedule.
Okay. All right, well, I'm sorry to not realize that I would have come on sooner. Otherwise, the only other thing, I did send you the zoning amendments of particular note, the summary that we had at the Planning Commission. Feel free to use that if that would be helpful for the town meeting.
Yeah, I think with town meeting, we'll probably coordinate some kind of a presentation jointly. That's what I'm kind of envisioning, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. All right, well, sorry again to have missed what I intended to connect for. Thanks a lot. Okay. Bye.
Thanks, Terry.
Bye. Do you want to stop recording?
Yeah, we're good with the motion, even though that we haven't gone into executive session until 6:13. It was 2 minutes later than what you originally said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, I said.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we are now out of executive session.
So I will make a motion to accept the resignation of Lena Carter for the position of Constable and Emergency Management Director.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And before we go further, I would like just for us to publicly thank Lena for as many years of service to the community in all of his various roles, and let him know that we're very grateful for all of that service.
I agree.
I'll make a second motion and then I'll pause before it's seconded. The second motion will be to appoint Mark Fiore as Constable and Emergency Management Director. And I'll pause before we second it.
And I'm going to recuse myself from this motion due to, he is my employer. It's a conflict of interest.
So I will second the motion.
Okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Okay, so do we have any more business?
I think that's all we got for business, guys. Okay, so I will move to adjourn this evening's select board meeting at 6:30. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.